Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Wahyudi. I'm lecturer at Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang. Today, I will present my research about Islamic Human Development Index and Sustainable Economic Development. I plan to speak for around 10 minutes, and my talk will be divided into five sections. The first is introduction, and then literature review, then research method, result and discussion, and the last conclusion. Firstly, introduction. Sustainable regional development has three dimensions or aspects of life, namely economic, social, and environmental aspect. Through measurement in sustainable development, they are evolved to take a role in decision making, which is functional to help formulate policies in the future. The messages conveyed by the Quran about the environment are very clear and prospective. In the perspective of Islam, humans are created as the best creature amongst Allah's creation. Quran Surah At-Tin. He was appointed as Khalif in Surah Al-Baqarah and has the responsibility to manage the earth and prosper it. Surah Al-Azab, based on in function as Khalif, humans are ordered to worship Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and do good and don't do damage. Humans are prohibited from doing damage on the earth after it was created well. Surah Al-A'raf. And humans are prohibited from obeying the order of those who do damage and don't make reply. Surah Ash-Shu'ara. Thus, in order to realize sustainable economic development, the first step taken is human development first, because the basic component for development is the human itself. The measurement of human development in an Islamic perspective can use the Islamic Human Development Index. There are still many existing studies on Islamic Human Development Index that are limited to measuring the value of Islamic Human Development Index in a region or country, none of which has examined its relationship with sustainable economic development. Java is one of the provinces in Indonesia with a large Muslim population. In addition, culture in East Java is closely related to Islamic teachings. Therefore, the Islamic Human Development Index is very relevant when used in measuring the quality of human research in East Java. On the other hand, East Java is also the locomotive of the national economy. Based on this description, we consider it important to conduct research on the effect of the Islamic Human Development Index on the achievement of sustainable economic development in East Java. This study used observation time for the last 5 years before the COVID-19, and the object of research are 38 districts in East Java with a research focus on analyzing the Islamic Human Development Index and cluster of sustainable economic development in East Java. As for ensuring the objective in this study, a quantitative approach will be used, namely the data obtained are processed according to the statistical method used and regression analysis is carried out and then interpreted. Collecting data through secondary data collection activity by collecting institutional data from relevant office. Documentation include number of industry, number of small medium enterprise, gross regional domestic product, unemployment rate, poverty level, green open space ratio, equality index, crime rate, life expectancy, expected number of years of school, average length of school, total birth rate, infant mortality rate, Gini index. And we use three analysis. First analysis classroom typology, cluster analyzing using the Kaminsky method, and Islamic Human Development Index. Okay, now Sustainable Economic Development Cluster in East Java. All regions with very high industrialist cluster are not included in the environmental cluster category either. Even Sidoarjo Regency, Pasuruan Regency have a varying category in the environmental cluster, while Surabaya City and Gresik still get good categories in the environmental quality cluster. The low air quality in Sidoarjo and Gresik is one of the main reasons that two areas fall into the worrying category for environmental aspect. Therefore, there must be strategic steps to overcome this problem. It is necessary to pay attention to environmental friendly industrialization because industrialization is an important factor that affects environmental degradation. Meanwhile, some areas that are included in the high category industrial clustering are in fact unable to maintain the environment properly. Theoretically, with lower industrial activity, the environmental quality in the area could be higher. But in fact, this is not the case. Malang Regency and Jember Regency, which are included in the high cluster for the industrialization aspect, get the low category in the environmental quality cluster. Only Tulungagung Regency record very good environmental quality. Another fact in this clustering is that the three regions with the best environmental quality in East Java, namely District Pacitan, Tulungagung, and Blitar Regency, are areas with medium and high industrialization scale. However, areas with a low industrial scale such as Pasuruan City, Probolinggo City, and Blitar City actually have an alarming environmental quality. The clustering of sustainable economic development that occurred in East Java show the interaction of all the variables studied, so it needs to be considered as precautionary principle to determine the direction of weatherization. The magnitude of economic performance has not followed sustainable development, meaning that there is a trade-off between economic performance and environmental quality in the area. This is in line with the pessimistic response of experts, both economics and environmentalists. These experts consider that sustainable development is rhetoric that cannot be carried out without trade-off between aspects. As an effort towards sustainable development, a quality development strategy is needed, which is to keep increasing economic growth and income. But by investing greater attention to equity and environmental sustainability, Mikuga, Saranio, and Dubrow state that high economic growth will improve social quality if it is followed by a decrease in income inequality. Likewise, the environment, which is an important variable in sustainable development. Now, analysis of Islamic Human Development Index. Based on the calculation with the Adin index formula and Al-Aql index and An-Nasl index and Al-Mal index. Based on this indicate, the value of the Islamic Human Development Index can be calculated. The result of the Islamic Human Development Index of district or cities in East Java only have high and medium categories. Islamic Human Development Index regency or cities that fall into the high category are Sidoarjo, Kediri City, Blitar City, Malang City, Mojokerto City, Madiun, and Surabaya. Meanwhile, other regency are in the medium category. This shows that the quality of Islamic human development in East Java is still not evenly distributed. The majority are still at a moderate level. The majority of districts or cities that fall into the high categories are areas that fall into the urban category, as it is known that urban areas have better quality economic and educational access than non-urban area. This is what makes the areas included in the high category. Okay, I think enough. Thank you for your attention. Akhirul kalam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.